This is how far we've gone on the system. It requires a number of things to access the social media system. One is the server is a Node.js server that is in charge of the authentication. It's an external server from the system. It's loaded differently, so it's on my local disk, so I can open it. This is where it's stored. Then I will access it through command line. I will access it through command prompt. So I would go to CMD, use CMD to open the folder, to make sure the folder is what is open. Then so I can run the server file. I will use node server.js to run the node server. It's in charge of the blockchain authentication, allowing the user to be able to access the social media. Okay, the social media is the software is running on XAMPP. Of course, XAMPP is made up of PHP, MySQL, and all that. I can access it on the browser. I think it's already open. It's just to open a new local host. Then I'll localhost MetaMask. That's the folder I used to store it. Then it will load. It will show something like this. Then we have the conventional login. The conventional login, email and password, it's there. But the one we are developing, or we are trying to bring up, is the one that use blockchain authentication, that use wallet from your MetaMask. So we use login with MetaMask to be able to start that authentication. So once you do login with MetaMask, it will bring up the MetaMask pop-up on the browser, installed on the browser, on your browser, to be able to use this system. Okay, so as it's coming up, then let me see, it's trying to load. If you're already logged in on your MetaMask, it will take a shorter time. But if your MetaMask is logged out, that you have to log in again, it may take a longer time, because you have to log into your MetaMask so you can, through your MetaMask, access the social media. So it's trying to load. MetaMask is loading. It's coming up. Now, the way it works is, the login is by your MetaMask, and if it's a new user, you will be able to, once you log into your MetaMask, you can access the system. Then the system will generate other details for the user. Of course, the user can always edit once the user is in his or her dashboard, and then add other details. Okay, but if it's a user that's already known, that has logged in before, of course, you just come, log in with MetaMask, then you log in. It won't create any new thing on the database for you. Then the moment you're logged in, you will be able to do a lot of things based on the fact that blockchain has been linked to the. Okay, so it's not just going to be a username password thing, but you will have a different unique identification that is based on your wallet. So the user is known more. It's not just somebody known by email and password, but a lot of other things about the user is known. Of course, in real life implementation, wallet comes even with some funding and all that. So imagine people accessing the social media with something that has to do with their money, so they will not want to try anything. So, but different from that, the purpose of using MetaMask is so that once the user is logged in, the user can the user transactions can be saved on the blockchain. Any activity of the user, any movement of the user will be stored on the blockchain, and blockchain will be able to access this account, unlike if it's just a username password. That's the conventional social media platform. So now I've confirmed on the MetaMask, so it's trying to see if it can log in the user. It's trying to log in the user. Yeah, it's loading now. It's loading to get the user to his or her dashboard. Okay, so this is the application. You logged in not by username and password, but you logged in by authentication, blockchain based authentication. So the user will be able to, of course, the conventional things users do on the social media, they will still be able to do it, send messages, access friends, and all of those things. But because this user is now has been ushered in via blockchain, it means that it's not just going to be most of the things that the user is doing, the user will be strongly followed up. Okay, when the user send messages, wants to send message to the content of the message will be checked and will be logged. If it's violating, it will be registered by the system, and then it gets to a point the system will ban the account based on a number of times. So that's why I have this reputation and all this scoring. Okay, there's a reputation. Every user is known, is trailed by the activity. All right. Okay, this is the admin also has his own dashboard where he can do a number of things on the system. MetaMask, I think admin. Let me see. Admin. Okay, admin. Let me log the admin in. The admin has to log in normally. It's not using MetaMask, but if I want to input it, I can actually do it. But for now, it's just you log in as an admin. Okay, this is admin login. The admin is actually supposed to be able to fix, manually put the codes or words or load things that the users of that system should not, that when you words that when you use it, or links that when you use it, it violates your reputation on the system. The admin should be able to actually do those things, load it, and then it will now, any user that begin to use such links like send me money and then send it to several people, the admin should be able to know that there will be a lot that the admin can get, and then he will be able to know that this person is not doing the right thing on the system. Okay, so that's the way it is now. Let me see the next thing that I'll show you, Prof. Okay, of course, the conventional things, this is the user dashboard. Then the other one is admin dashboard. So the way we programmed it is, while the user is trying to probably send messages to users, maybe he wants to send message while the user is trying to type the message to chat, there's an AI surveillance on the message that is checking what the user is actually typing. Okay, so and these things are in messages, in chats, in comments. Those AI are integrated in all of those places that a Facebook user of the account could send message to another person. So the AI is integrated in those areas to monitor whatever the user says to other users of the system. All right. So then, but those all those integration, of course, are not visible, but they are within the background of the messages. They are just there. They are integrated on all those channels that people use to communicate or to comment on the system. So the other things are just there and they are working normally. So this is the one I want to show you now, and maybe if you have comments, you can actually send to me, Prof.